Good morning, everybody. My name's Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. It's a very beautiful day out there. Yesterday was extremely cold, but today we're at -2, and that is a big change for us, and we're enjoying that. I mean, I've even got my living room window open for a few minutes just to kind of blow the old air out and the new air in. So we'll have to see how the rest of the day goes with that. Um, I don't really have a whole lot of things I wanted to say, but I was going to talk about humor. Not that I'm funny, because I'm not. I don't really have a streak of comedy in me, but I seem to get myself into precarious situations at times. But humor will see you through the tough times. If you are a person who always looks for the negative, you will have a harder time in life, I think. I really do believe that. You have a harder time in life. If you think of the positive, you can feel better about yourself. But if you try to find the humor in what your situation is, not only do you stay positive, but the endorphins that get released in your brain when you're laughing, they go a long way. What also gets released, if you're me, is you tend to pee your pants. So there's a few things that get released: endorphins and your bladder. But anyway, it doesn't really matter as long as we're having fun doing it. Um, I'm having a little bit of a struggle emotionally just right now, simply because my dad's in the hospital. And of course, he doesn't live in the same city as me, so it's hard for me to not be able to go and visit with him. I know he's being very well cared for by my brother, but in the circumstances in the world today, at any given point in time, they can tell him that he can't stay with my dad. Well, my dad is blind and doesn't hear very well, so he would have a very difficult time if Gary wasn't there with him. He is very reliant on Gary to do it. I was fortunate. My other brother, Grant, went up to visit with him the other day, and he took his cell phone with him. So Dad didn't hear me very well on a cell phone, but he was able to know that I was talking to him. He didn't really understand that I wasn't there, but he did know that he had at least spoke to me, as long as he remembers it. But, it doesn't really matter. I know that I was able to tell him I love him, and that was what was important for me. So I've got that kind of going on in my life. I started last Sunday the new medication to help me with the dyskinesia, which is that large movement that you see. And I started with just one tablet once a day. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to go up to 2 tablets, and then the following week 3. But even with the one tablet, I have definitely noticed a lot less movement. I mean, I'm still moving, but it's a lot less. So I am very hopeful. I haven't had any side effects so far, and I am very, very hopeful that this is going to allow me to, have a more calm existence during the day. Christmas is fast approaching. Just when you think, oh, I've got all the time in the world, you don't. Now, I don't have a lot to do to get ready. I really, truthfully do not. But I'm a planner, so therefore I've got everything all planned out. I know I'm going to have far too much appetizers and stuff out, but you know what? We can eat them for days after that if we have to. There's something about Christmas that says you're supposed to overcook. Not that you're supposed to overeat, but you are supposed to overcook. It's just part of it. Now, we have also had trouble getting a turkey the way we normally do. We usually just buy a utility bird, and we usually buy a very big bird so that we can take it and divide it amongst everybody, and everybody has leftovers for their freezer. They just weren't having the big birds, and they weren't having the utility birds. So my husband was up at the mall one day, and he said, "Listen, Darlene, they've got turkeys here at Walmart for $30, $31. Should I get one?" Well, I've never spent that much on a turkey before, but I said to him, "We have to have the turkey. Yes, go ahead and get that." And I said, "What size is it?" Well, it was just shy of 14 pounds. And I said, "Well, that will feed all of us without any trouble at all." So he brought it home. Well, I realized we've never had such a nice bird in our life. We won't even know how to eat it, I'm sure. It was grain fed. It was, first of all, it wasn't even a frozen turkey. It was a fresh turkey. And I said to him, "We've never had such a nice bird in our life. I mean, we always have had one with wings missing or legs off or skin torn or something." And so this will be interesting. Claudine's going to cook this nice bird. So we're going to do that. And So I guess that's our Christmas plans. I should tell you a little story going forward. Um, my mom and dad, oh, now let's see. The year I moved to Nova Scotia was their 50th anniversary. So they would now be 65 years married or something if my mom had lived. But anyway, it was their 50th anniversary. We came from Alberta. We went out to visit with them before we moved. So we thought we'll celebrate their anniversary and then we'll move across the country and we'll have had this nice visit with them. That was fine, but I wanted to make a very special gift for them for their 50th. So I said to Gary, I said, Mom and Dad had plans to go away for a weekend. And I said, Gary, don't tell them I'm coming out. Let them go away. And I said, I'll come stay with you and we'll start working on this project that I've got. Because Mom and Dad didn't have a lot of photographs. They had a lot of slides. Like they used to take slides and use them on a projector. So I said to him, I said, I want to make a photo array that is pictures, not slides. So we had to go through the slides. Well, we didn't have the projector now anymore. So we had this little light thing and we were holding these little tiny slides up and looking like a negative into the light to see if we could figure them out. And I said, I'd kind of like what my plan was. I had a little frame that you flip the pictures over. And I said, I'd like to try and get 50 pictures and we'll do one from each year going up. So we were having a great time. Oh, we had so much fun that weekend just going through these pictures. But anyway, and then I took all the pictures that we had gathered together and I went and I got them developed. So they were developed into pictures and I came home and I was putting them into the frame. And I said to Gary, that doesn't look like Mom. And he says, where? And I said, well, there's Dad. He was wearing a Hawaiian grass skirt. And I said, this looks like it's in a church basement or something. So they must have been at a Hawaiian night or something. But I said, that sort of looks like Mom, but not really. I know that it was years ago. And he looks at it and he goes, well, that isn't Mom. I had developed a picture for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which was my father and some other woman, a friend of theirs. Mom was at that party, but that wasn't her. So I had to then scramble to get another picture that I could slip in to the array to do that. But I thought, can you imagine if I had actually given that to them for their 50th anniversary? Dad and some other woman that was in the picture from church? Anyway, that's the type of thing that happens to me. But anyway, I had a great time visiting my brother. We made a great gift and we all got together for a lovely party. And then I moved across the country and, c'est la vie, there's the future. All right, that's it for today. See you all tomorrow.